The related development coming up next. The UN Security Council will hold an emergency session to discuss Israel's plan to capture and occupy Gaza City. The plan, approved by Israel's Security Cabinet on Friday, has drawn international criticism, with UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres calling it a dangerous escalation in the 22-month war. The meeting, requested by Denmark, France, Greece and the United Kingdom, will begin at 10 a.m. local time in New York City. According to the UNSC report, all council members except the United States supported convening the session. UN rapporteurs are expected to outline the potential consequences, while Germany, the UK, Italy and New Zealand and also Australia have issued a joint statement rejecting Israel's plan. We're once again joined by Ahmed Fatwa. He joins us from Ramallah. I want to first of all start with Itamar Ben-Gvir's statements, the National Security Advisor for Israel's cabinet. What are your thoughts on his aggravating statements? Obviously, he does not. He is staunchly opposed to the declaration of a Palestinian state. What are your thoughts on some of Benjamin Netanyahu's closest ministers openly opposing now the United Kingdom's, France's, Canada's and over 140 other nations in the world's stance on a Palestinian state?
I hear the news. If there's anyone is terrorist, it is Ben-Gvir, the one who is arming and funding the Israeli settlers' terrorism in the West Bank, and the one who took photos with the terrorist who killed Abu Khdeir, a child of 15 years old in Jerusalem, about 5 years ago. So we all know his history of terrorism. And President Mahmoud Abbas is the one who's seeking peace, is the one who in 2009 went for the popular peaceful resistance for the liberation of Palestine and went for the peaceful efforts into the international community. So if anything, he's the terrorist, and President Mahmoud Abbas is the peacemaker. By the way, the Palestinian rights of self-determination is an inalienable right, like all nations around the world. They have the right to self-determination and independence. It's not about Ben-Gvir or Smotrich or Netanyahu or the Israeli government to determine whether we express that right or not. This is a matter of international legitimacy and international law. And
Ahmed,
going forward to what
Ahmed, sorry, apologies for the interruption. What is your view on critics that say that there is no point in recognizing a Palestinian state at this point, as especially in the Gaza Strip, Hamas, it has been said that Hamas cannot play a role in governing it. And once Hamas, since Hamas is not defeated so far yet, that these nations that have said that they are going to recognize Palestinian state in September, there is a large movement against it. What are your thoughts, Ahmed?
The recognition is a political position and symbolic position to recognize the state of Palestine and to preserve the two-state solution. Of course, it should be followed up by practical measures on the ground to translate this recognition into a Palestinian state. Whether Israel like it or not, they are on occupation and they are in violation of the international resolutions 242. In fact, the Palestinian people accepted 22% of their historical lands that was occupied in 1948 when they were ethnically cleansed by the Zionist terrorist movement. And that time, the UN resolution 181 said that the Palestinians should have about 45%. So we, the Palestinians, are the one who are making the sacrifices for the sake of peace, or the Israeli government are the one that is chasing us out of our land. We accepted 22% when the UN said we could have 45% based on UN 181. So that says clearly who's the terrorist here and who's not. Now, this recognition also was followed by two-state conference in New York that discussed all the major crises and put forward a solution and a timeline. Now Israel needs to follow and put its hand with the international community to go out of this crisis. And we have to be clear, very clear, that Israel is not after Hamas, it's not after the defeat of Hamas, they are after the destruction of the Palestinian state. And these policies that you just said right now actually is an evidence for these intentions. We have to say that they are annexing the West Bank. They are confiscating Palestinian Authority money to weaken it. They are pushing for a displacement plan for the Palestinian people in Gaza to make them live in concentration camps. So if we look at the full picture here, we see an ethnic cleansing campaign being on the ground, taking place on the ground, while the world is still repeating Hamas, Hamas. This has nothing to do with Hamas, and the world need to wake up, because this is a major issue. If erupted, the entire Middle East will go into endless wars for decades to come, and that will reiterate to the world. We have to be very wise here and not allow a far-right extremists and terrorists to define our future. We have to respect our principles and UN resolution and our security of the region and the entire world.
Ahmed, coming on to this, the UNSC meet on Gaza, all members of the Council, apart from the United States, have supported convening this session against Israel's escalating plans. What is the significance of the United States not supporting this Council session to be convened?
It's regrettable. It's unfortunate that the United States is still complicit with this genocide. It's, bringing no good to the world. It's bringing no good to the United States itself. The entire world is saying, stop the genocide, go for ceasefire, let's go for a peaceful approach. While the United States does have the keys, the United States still provides Israel with the bombs and arms they are using for killing children and women in Gaza. The United States still providing the funds and billions of dollars to the Israeli far-right extremist government that are openly racist and, calling for the destruction and erasure of the Palestinian people, like Smotrich said yesterday when he said, we want to erase Palestine. So when we have this government that is openly genocidal, and not only in genocidal intent, but actually committing genocidal policies, here the United States need to, step backward and think, what are they doing here? And they need to actually support and endorse the international efforts to go for a peaceful path. I'm surprised that until today, USA is still hesitating from taking that step. 22 months of killing the Palestinian people. It left no doubt that this has nothing to do about a conquest over Hamas or defeating Hamas. It's all about the expulsion and the erasure of the Palestinian state. Because what they are doing in the West Bank reflects that clearly. The West Bank has no Hamas and has a Palestinian Authority, a legitimate authority that is calling for peace according to the international resolutions. So they refuse the side that's calling for peace, and they are also refuse the side that's calling for resistance. So it's clearly what their plan is. It is erasure of Palestinian states. So the United States needs to step up.
Yes, thank you very much, Ahmed Fatwa, for joining us here on the program. We now move over to the Indo-Pacific next.